2008 was a year filled with tons of incredible games. So many that it would have been easy to completely miss a game that not only deserved your money, but wholeheartedly earned it. As someone who was still balls deep in Halo 3 multiplayer at the time, I did miss that legendary game. And that game was Dead Space. Now, that's not 100% accurate. I did borrow Dead Space from a friend as a kid. Having only played the first couple chapters, I remember really enjoying the tension that the atmosphere created. The heart-sinking feeling of missing a couple shots on those necromorph limbs as they get closer and closer and your ammo's dwindling down. I remember being captured by the mystery of the Ishimura, wondering what happened there and how these disgusting creatures came to be. But before I could really discover the mysteries, my friend had asked for his game back. It's funny looking back now and thinking, why did I not just go get another copy? But as a kid, when you don't really have your own money and you only really got new games for Christmas, it felt unobtainable. I probably also felt like I'd get a chance to borrow it again after my friend finished his New Game Plus playthrough, but shortly after he moved a few states away, and I kinda just forgot about Dead Space. January 2023 seemed like a sign from the gaming gods that it was time to right my wrongs. Dead Space was remade from the ground up in modern graphics. It had some slight changes to the gameplay and narrative, mostly just having a voiced protagonist, to try and improve on what was almost a 15-year-old game. It was immediately on my list of games to play. But it didn't work out that way. I'm not really sure why I just never went through with buying the remake. Maybe I was still just trying to force myself to enjoy Halo Infinite. Either way, the remake came and went, was praised heavily for being an awesome remake of an already awesome game, and I sorta just forgot about it again. But now it's late 2023, officially over 15 years since Dead Space released. The remake just hit Game Pass, and I no longer have any excuses. I had never played Dead Space. I waited 15 years to play Dead Space. And it is absolutely criminal that it took me this long to experience this game. The story of Dead Space is an interesting one. However, for the purpose of this video, I don't really feel the need to go step by step through it all. Didn't you hear? This game's 15 years old, and I can't imagine anyone watching this video wants to hear a rundown of the entire story. But a general overview is that your 4-man crew is making a routine stop on the Ishimura, a planet cracker that's out to mine resources to help keep humanity alive. Isaac's love interest was on the ship, and he hasn't heard from her in a bit. There's a docking malfunction when Isaac and crew try to land, leaving you stranded, and you quickly find what horrors await you on the Ishimura. The rest of the game is mostly about survival, exploring the ship to restore systems and finding parts in order to escape. As the game progresses, the story slowly unfolds via audio and text logs. You learn about the Ishimura's illegal mining operation on Aegis 7, meant to find the red marker for the Church of Unitology. And eventually one of your crew members reveals herself as an agent for the Earth government, sent to retrieve the marker and bury any evidence of what occurred here. You also find out there's a hive mind controlling the necromorphs, which is eerily similar to the grave mind controlling the Flood in Halo. So obviously that needs to be stopped before you can make your escape as well. Overall, the mystery behind all the atrocities occurring on the Ishimura kept me on the edge of my seat. Throughout the entire story, I was eager to find out what caused this necromorph outbreak, and it really added to the tension I felt throughout my playthrough. But what really set Dead Space apart and made it stand out to me was the atmosphere and gameplay. The reason I list both of these here is that they play off each other perfectly to create that butt-puckering tension that had me sweating buckets but simultaneously coming back for more time and time again. Let's start with the atmosphere. The Ishimura is a broken down ship that is overrun with necromorphs, and boy does it feel that way. This ship is dark, and what else would you expect from a survival horror game? Your saving grace is that when you aim in with your weapon, you have a flashlight to help aid with visibility. But when enemies are up close, the flashlight doesn't help much because it's shining in one small spot on the enemy. The music helps build the tension by playing when necromorphs start coming for you. Enemies will frequently come from in front of you, but Dead Space sneakily will have an enemy or two spawn behind you, resulting in you turning to run and put some distance between you and the necromorphs, only for you to run right into one lurking behind you. In some rare situations, they'll even have enemies come after you while you're in the store, using your credits for supplies. This adds to the helpless feeling of never being safe within the Ishimura. Just when you think you can relax, you get jumped by a necromorph and realize that there is no escape from this danger. The world created in Dead Space is amplified by the gameplay and progression. Dead Space took everything you've ever learned from shooters and turned it on its head. Instead of kill shots resulting from a shot to the necromorph head, they opted to have players shoot off their limbs in order to kill them. This was an interesting change of pace, as different enemy types have limbs in different places, coming off their bodies at different angles. The primary weapon, the plasma cutter, can change from shooting a horizontal line to a vertical line. However, if there are various enemy types attacking at the same time, you may have to switch the trajectory as you change targets. This creates tension as you're getting chased down. Not to mention that enemies' limbs can move around as they run at you, and aiming requires some hairline precision. There isn't much aim assist, and it's easy to hit the body instead of the limbs in a panic or even miss entirely. I'm curious how the gameplay changes playing on a mouse and keyboard since you have some added precision on that input, but playing on an Xbox controller, I frequently miss shots and wasted ammo. And on the topic of ammo, this game makes you feel like you're fighting for your life to survive. At no point in my 10-hour playthrough did I ever feel like I had more ammo than I needed. I frequently ran out of ammo and explored every single room on the way to my objective, hoping to find some spare ammunition. As you explore, you come across credits and items you can sell for credits, which you can then spend on ammo. But the game seems so well balanced to account for this that it's just never enough. Even after dropping all of my credits on plasma cutter ammo, I still always seem to run out before my next opportunity to hit the store. As you kill necromorphs, you can stomp on them to get them to drop items, and the game seems to be very smart to give you something that you're low on. For example, if I'm low on health with no heals, it'll drop me heals. If I buy a ton of plasma cutter ammo, it never drops more ammo for that gun. I liked this because it made me use all of the weapons I found throughout the playthrough. I'm sure more experienced players could tell you how each weapon has a specific purpose, specializing in taking out a certain enemy type. But I found that I was constantly juggling my equipped weapons just to switch to the ones that I actually had ammo for. It helped add to the variety by forcing me to go outside my comfort zone and use all of the weapons, instead of just sticking to my preferred plasma cutter. I cannot tell you how many times I was deep into a chapter, low on health, with no heals, very little ammo left for most guns I didn't prefer, and just praying that I could survive. Every little piece of this game complements each other to create this entire package that truly had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. I'm telling you, I had my cheeks clenched from the moment I crash landed on the Ishimura until I took out the hive mind and made my final escape. Dead Space is truly an exceptional gaming experience, and I can't believe it took me this long to play it. On one hand, I feel like a clown for letting this game sit for 15 years before I finally made it a priority to play. On the other hand, I'm so happy to have been able to experience Dead Space for the first time, in beautiful 4K graphics with all of the advancements in technology since it was originally released. This is surely a game I plan on revisiting multiple times in New Game Plus, and I have no problem calling Dead Space a masterpiece. And that about wraps up this video, just me gushing over Dead Space the entire time. I'm sure there's flaws people could point out, and maybe some purists won't like the fact that I played the remake instead of the original. I know there were some changes, but I didn't really want to touch on them because I had very limited experience with the original. And from explanations of the changes, it seems like there were quality of life changes or small character changes such as having Isaac voice that didn't really change much of the gameplay. Except for the 0G parts, it seems like the remake did those much better than the original. But overall, I love Dead Space, and now I'm wondering if I should play the next two or wait for the possibility of those getting a remake as well. But for now, I think I'll just wait it out. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to leave a comment letting me know. Because there was another game that was remade this year, that is also over 15 years old, and I also have never played. If enough people want to see it, I can definitely make that my next project for the channel. And if you're still here for some reason, you must have enjoyed the content, so consider leaving a like to help other people stumble across this video as well. Alright, I'm done shilling my channel for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Later.